Is this why Tim decided he was going to cheer for the Coyotes? Is this game why? Is this team why? What are the Oilers anymore? What are they? Because they're not a team I recognize. And of course we get, the standard argument. Refs. Refs. Always the refs. It's always the refs. Derek Ryan, he gets slashed. He gets beat up real bad. And you think the refs would do anything about it? Absolutely not. Because why would the refs do anything? The excuse for the first one was that they were looking for a high sticking. There was no high sticking. It was an elbow to the face. So there was no high sticking. They couldn't do anything about it. So then switch the penalty from what you want to call high sticking, which is what you were going to call, or whatever it was going to be. Change the name. All you have to do is on the score sheet cross out high sticking and write, I don't know, elbowing. But Edmonton gets the first goal, which is great. It's amazing. Ekholm scores, top corner. It looks beautiful. And it was assisted by Gagne, which I have been informed by things like the internet and all that fun stuff that he's been tossed around. I didn't know he was back on the Oilers. I thought he was still with the Ducks. But nope, apparently he's back with the Oilers. So here we go. Oilers get a couple chances. It's looking really promising. But they couldn't convert on any of them, which, if you're playing in a hockey game, if you get chances, you gotta put them in the net. It's how hockey works. It's how you get the 0 to become 1, to become 2, to become 3, to become whatever, to win the game. Just in case any of you didn't know how hockey worked, that's how it works. You gotta make the 0 turn into a 1 by putting a rubber disc into a net. Hockey. And then another goal happens, and this one drives me absolutely insane. I don't know what Skinner was trying to go for. I don't know what Skinner was looking at, because it looked like he was looking at the shooter. It looked like he had everything tracked. But no. Shooter shoots. It goes right inside the right arm of Skinner and then through the net, and that's a goal. And it wasn't even like there was much of a deflection off of the goaltender. It just went through. No resistance at all. Ridiculous. That is going to be the theme word now. It is all ridiculous. Nurse goes off to the box for cross-checking, because about the only thing that it looks like he's good for is punchy. In hockey, way back when, yes, punchy was an actual role. It was called an enforcer, so that it sounded a bit more, proper and like an actual hockey thing. But no, it's the role is punchy. That is all it is. And that's nurse. We don't have enforcers in the National Hockey League for a reason. Because punchy gets you nowhere. Yeah, you can change momentum and all that fun stuff, but that's all it does. It doesn't change the 0 to a 1, or to a 2, or to a 3. There's nothing. And we're still in the first, mind you. And I say that because Edmonton calls a timeout. Why are we calling a timeout in the first? I can tell you why. We're doing terribly. We're doing very horribly. But we should not be batting it with 2 of the best players in the world. We should not be doing bad enough that we have to take a timeout basically halfway through the first. Ridiculous. There's that theme word again. Ridiculous. And Ekholm basically finishes off the first period. He gets hauled off to the box. Canucks player kind of skated in front of him, and he gave him a bit of a shove, which the other guy, I think, I could be very much mistaken. I'm a fan. I'm not a player. I'm not a referee. I don't know nothing. But it looked like embellishment. And Ekholm thought it was embellishment. So, when the penalty was called, Ekholm made sure that there was a penalty on the call, goes over and gives a real hard cross-check right into the back of the Canucks player, and good. Good. If you're going to go to the box anyway, make it worth it. Make it worth your time. It's not like you're going to try and, maim a player for long-term, what have you. But at least make it look like, hey, if I'm going off to the box, I'm going off for something that's actually worthwhile. I'm going off because I actually deserve it. I'm not going off because you can't do your stupid job. So we get into period 2, and to very much explain away everything in regards to the refs. Kulak gets tripped, there's no call. Refs. And I'm not liking, by the way, going away from the ref stuff, I'm not liking that McDavid seems to be trying to do everything on his own. He needs to be finding his outlets. Quite frankly, I can't blame the guy. His outlets aren't there. His outlets are out to lunch. They're taking their lunch break way too early. That's a game, and you might as well have some guy sitting on the center logo eating a freaking sandwich. That said, we get into a bit more of the insanity. The Oilers manage a shot off into the side of the net. It's Kane's shot, goes into the side of the net, but it doesn't go in. Everyone thinks it goes in, but it doesn't go in. Instead, it's locked into the side of Demko, and you can't see anything. It might have gone in. We don't know, because Demko covered the puck, and we couldn't see it, so it wasn't definitive. It might have been a goal. We don't know. We will never know. We might find out like a week from now, and then everyone's gonna be up in arms like, oh, the refs tossed this game away. But then the Oilers get a gift. Demko falls. He gives the puck away. Puck gets sent to the front of the net, into the slot. There's an empty net. Puck goes in the back of the net. It better go in the back of the net. This game has been ridiculous up to this point. I wouldn't have been surprised if it missed the net, but it had better go in the net. And it did. But then the Canucks score. Lafferty takes a shot. It gets rebounded, and then Höglander finds the puck, takes a shot, it goes in the back of the net. We're done talking about this. We're done! Gagne gets slashed. It's an upward slash. It takes the stick and flings it halfway to Mars. That's how far it goes. It goes halfway to Mars. And there's no call on it. You might as well at this point in this hockey game, at this point with how insane everything is going, you might as well just drop your stick, grab the other guy's stick, and chuck it into the crowd. That's this game. That is this game. All the way through. That is this game. Take everything on the ice. Take the yard sale after a scrum or something. Take everything, pick it up, go to the boards, and chuck it into the third row. Better yet, chuck it into the third section, like the third bowl. I don't know how many arenas have third bowls. I know the people we don't talk about down south, they have a third bowl. They call it the press box. Throw it up there from Vancouver. Throw it up there from Vancouver. That's this game. Period 3. Vogel scores, but he doesn't. Because apparently this time, he kicks it. And apparently now being pulled off balance and your feet going out because that's a standard human reaction constitutes as, oh, he meant to kick the puck in the back of the net. Absolutely ridiculous. Miller does some stuff to McDavid because McDavid did some stuff to Miller. Hyman answers the bell. They fight. Stuff happens. DJ Seppi ends up taking down McDavid, so McDavid doesn't get off scot-free. And there's just stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I just don't understand. Like, why did no one go into the scrum when your superstar, the guy that you're known for, the Connor McDavid, he gets walloped and no one goes in. No one. Way to stick up for your man. I'm renaming this team to the Bertuzzis. That's what I'm doing. They're all the Bertuzzis now. And in all of this, somewhere down the road, McDavid ends up with a minor. Hyman ends up with a minor, I think. And Draisaitl ends up with a 10-minute misconduct. It wasn't a game misconduct. He could come back. But it was a 10-minute misconduct. And that basically was us tossing in the towel, basically. Saying just, okay, well, let's be violent for the rest of this game. We'll just beat you up now. Like, physically. We're not going to beat you on the scoreboard. We gotta do punchy. Another goal gets scored by the Canucks. It goes in, and it comes out way too fast. The call on the ice is no goal, but then Toronto calls because we all love Toronto, right? We all love Toronto. Toronto in charge of everything. Great idea, guys. Give it to Edmonton. Edmonton don't make the proper call there. They'll just, no goal. It wasn't a goal. Because what happened is Miller took a shot. There's that bar on the inside. Like, you got the crossbar, and then you got a bar that kind of bends around. And it rang off that bar that rings around. And then it just shot back out. So, yeah, it was a goal. If I was in charge of this, that's a no goal. I have decided it is no goal. It has to stay in the net for at least 3 seconds. That may be a little bit too much time, but you know what I mean. Then Kane gets a turn to slam our Canucks player down into the ice. Just a total TKO. Except that the other player got up. But, we don't talk about that. It was very cool. It was off the boards, grabbed by the head. Might as well have just been, I don't know what the move is. I don't watch WWE, but you jump up and you got the head like this and you just drop down with him. That whole thing. Then Edmonton's head coach, Jay Woodcroft, says something. He says something. You know how many people say something? You know how many people say things from the bench and nothing happens because you could just say stuff from the bench? Yeah, well, Jay Woodcroft yells something, and he gets ejected. Now, that wasn't a big enough bow, by the way. That was a pretty big bow. But that wasn't, I guess, the only bow to wrap on this present of a gong show. Canucks managed to get one more goal by a pass across the crease. It's Brock Besser. He had time to adjust for the shot. He had time to settle the puck down, get his stick ready, and shoot the puck. Ridiculous. And that wraps up the game. Ridiculous. I hope you enjoyed it. As insane as this was, I'll let you know that I'll be seeing you very soon, if you know what I mean.